What is up, Axie community? Thank you for clicking on this video. Today, I am going to be talking about smooth love potions, why the price has tanked, where I see the price going, and the long-term health of Axie. All right, so if you look at the 1-year history of SLP, it's gone all the way up to 40 cents and is currently at 7 pennies, okay? If you go to the Reddit, there's a lot of posts of people like right here saying RIP SLP, and a lot of people just saying that they're upset with how the price of smooth love potions has tanked. A lot of people rely on Axie as their main source of income, and so people are going from making maybe 200 bucks a month to now half that, all right? And it's affecting them being able to feed their families, etc. So I understand where people are coming from, but I'm just going to cover all the drama in this video, all right? Subscribe if you're new and hit the like button. It's free. It supports the Axie community. It helps my video out, and it's free. This content is not. You have to hit the like button or you got to leave, all right? For real. Hit the like button or leave. I don't make the rules. So here's the co-founder of Axie Infinity, and he's been getting a lot of backlash. Why has he been getting a lot of backlash? So do you remember how I just said on Reddit, there's a lot of people who are upset with the current state of Axie Infinity? And these people are tweeting at the founder saying, hey man, you need to adjust SLP use cases so that the price goes back up. Look at what he tweeted out yesterday. He tweeted this picture from this beautiful beachside apartment, and this guy is obviously not too aware of himself or what he's doing, because you have a lot of people who maybe are living in countries where it's hard to make a good hourly wage, and they're seeing their money dried up because the price of SLP is going down. So as this rich millionaire founder, you probably should not be tweeting out good morning from your beachside condo. And look at these responses here. You will be worried about your family. Most of the players invested believe in you, and you took advantage of that and devastated our investment. See, people are very hurt right now. Someone else said, he blocked me because he can't accept criticism. Nice transparency. I didn't even say a bad thing. I'm just suggesting we need more methods of burning SLP. So the reason SLP is going down is because so many people are producing smooth love potions, and when the supply of something is super high and there's not a large demand for it, most of you people are probably selling your SLP. You're not buying SLP. So they need more use cases. And this guy didn't even say anything rude to Jihos, and he still got blocked. Okay, so all over the Reddit, people are saying they're upset with Jiho, the founder of Axie. But look at this right here, an update on smooth love potions. And right off the bat on this Reddit thread, people are saying, I think we're better off following this guy than Jiho's. Yeah, Jiho's tweets are like a hippie spreading dreamy positivity and some crap. So what is this tweet that we're talking about? So right here, this guy he's the co-founder of Axie. He's the COO. And he gives us an update on smooth love potions, okay? And this is what he says. Also, guys, I give away 69 SLP every video. Comment your Ronin address below, all right? And at the beginning of every video, last video's winner was Irish, okay? But you didn't put your Ronin address in the comments. So unfortunately, I have to pick a new Ronin address. Just comment your Ronin address below, and every video, I will give out a random 69 SLP. DJ, this is one of my scholars. Mary, just make sure you comment your Ronin address, guys. Let's find someone with the Ronin address. Here we go. A nice build. Here's his Ronin address. And make sure you comment below, like the video, and at the beginning of every video, we send 69 SLP. All right, but back to the news. Where is SLP going? Is it tanking forever, or do we have a future with it? All right, just sent that off. Congratulations, man. And here's the update from the chief executive, or the chief operating officer, the COO. He goes, I want to clarify some things regarding SLP and growth. First of all, we care about SLP. I would hope you guys care about SLP. I know we do. It's tied to the price of breeding. Axies, and it's correlated to the AXS token price. We also know a lot of players rely on SLP to make put food on the table. It's incredible. Also, if you guys use Twitter, follow me on Twitter. My Twitter's in the video description below. If you don't use Twitter, ignore this. Second tweet. We recognize that the AXS cost relative to the SLP cost is currently imbalanced, and we will make more adjustments in the future. This is something that we try to communicate frequently, but people seem to forget it and think that this is the final version of Axie. He makes a good point here, guys. This game has just blown up exponentially. It's super popular. We got to keep in mind, this is not a game, a AAA Epic Games Fortnite type studio. It takes time to really execute on a game. And then he follows it up. In fact, we are just getting started. Axies will, over time, be able to earn more tokens. So maybe things besides SLP when more features are released. But back to SLP for a second. Assuming we reduced AXS per breed to close to 0, the price of SLP would rise fast, but would it be sustainable? So a lot of people who play Axie have said, hey, reduce the amount of AXS tokens it costs to breed, because right now it costs $140 just in AXS to breed. Now, if they made it 0 AXS and only SLP, SLP would get used more, but we'd have more Axies in the environment, and more Axies means more SLP production, right? Because the more Axies there are, the more people playing, the more potions. So it's a good point. Would this be sustainable if we reduce the AXS per breed? They already did it from 4 to 2, and that change obviously didn't do anything because look at the past month. Lost 50% of its value, right? 4 out of 5. Can the game in its current state handle another massive growth spike that genuinely follows a high SLP price? Can Ronin? Our answer to that, not quite yet. We are working hard to improve our capacity for another massive growth spike. So you got to appreciate this guy's honesty here. He's saying that, say the SLP price does go back up, when the SLP price went up like it did in July and in April, that's when the servers got terrible, because when SLP goes up, tons of people come into the game and the servers can't really sustain that, I guess. A lot of games don't just go viral and just blow up like that. Over time they grow, and so they can solve these problems. They have more time to solve these problems. So you got to appreciate his honesty. That's a good point. We want to make this solution the best one. Lowering the AXS per breed was already unsuccessful, right? SLP crashed all month. So this change is not going to work. They really need to brainstorm on a good change, and that's okay. They have time because the servers aren't really ready yet anyways. And then he says, if we don't have it, then the only thing we will get is a price boom with the following bust. New players would discover Axie at the wrong time, and we would use one of our growth triggers before we could capitalize on it. And then he links a white paper right here, Axie Infinity population and long-term sustainability. I'll talk about that in a second. His final up says, I can see some players are misunderstanding this as a promise that SLP will pump. This is not the case. I think of SLP as a commodity. It will fluctuate a bit in price, but what we need is deep liquidity to ensure a somewhat stable price. The Ronin Dex will help here. All right, and then this guy responds, the problem with SLP is not about breeding. It's about the lack of utility. At the moment, SLP is only used for breeding. Think SLP as money in the real world, and you can only use that money to buy food. But you can't use the money to pay for bills, clothes. More usage equals more burning. People are greedy. They will want more if you give them a chance. Imagine if you can put skins on your Axie parts using SLP to buy the skins. Or give a chance to edit 1 to 2 skills of their Axie. Ooh, I like that one right there. So this guy makes a great point. Breeding is not why SLP is going down. It's the fact that breeding is the only use, right? And I really love this idea. Imagine if you could edit one of your skills. or 2 of your skills. You know how like you can't change your Axie's abilities? What if you could spend SLP and it would just re-roll the dice on you based off the traits of your Axie and gave you a new ability? I think that would be kind of a cool use of SLP. Putting skins on your Axie part. I don't think putting skins is effective for Axie, because the biggest thing about Axie is your different parts. It's like your identity. So why would you want to transform and put a skin, especially like on a Mystic Axie? Those are like super unique. No one has those Axie parts but that Axie. So I don't think this skin idea is really good, but basically he's on point with this first thing. More uses of SLP, more burning. So we need some more use cases of SLP. As long as SLP is just for breeding, this price ain't going up anytime soon, guys. I'm telling you that now. So if you can save some of your SLP, if you have a scholarship, and if you want a scholarship, definitely follow me on Twitter. My Twitter's in the video description below. Subscribe to the channel. I have 4 scholars looking to get 10, eventually 50, eventually 100. But right now, SLP is just going to continue to probably go sideways or lower because there's not a lot of uses for it. And if it's not being used, it's not getting burnt. If it's not getting burnt, there's way too much supply, and that's why the price is doing what it's doing. But that's okay. Axie Infinity, the team is saying, we're really trying to get the best solution here, and we're not in a huge rush, because if the SLP price goes back up like it did here, there's going to be server issues, and they don't want people to come into the game and not be able to play it. Okay. In this white paper, they talk about 3 things that long-term Axie relies on. Okay. The 3 things Axie relies on: adding additional utility to Axies. So they'll have land, mini games, and maybe you can use your Axie in things besides just a battle. Adding a vertical rather than a purely horizontal progression. Right now, in order to progress, the main path people take is by expanding the size of their collection. This dynamic is not optimal long term. The more Axies there are in the space, the more SLP, and that's not sustainable. In the long run, there will be upgrades to both Axie and land that will require crafting ingredients. So imagine you could upgrade your Axie's ability, but it requires some crafting ingredients, right? Maybe SLP. This creates a long-term supply sink in the Axie population. This is what I'm talking about. Supply and demand. I'm a part-time economist. In all price matters, in price action, if there's no supply and the demand is high, the price is high. If there's low demand, like SLP, but high supply, right? There's tons of SLP, but no one wants to buy it, price goes down. So they need to create a supply sink, something to absorb the Axie population, right? Because the less Axies there are, the less SLP, and then the better the price of the SLP. And they talk about how they can grow Axie Infinity as a community. They mention advertising fees and sponsorships, working with non-profit organizations, and government donations and grants. Think about this. Axie, they say, is well poised to become a laboratory for universal basic income. Very interesting. But the bottom line is, if you're getting involved in Axie just for money, at this point you might be a little bit late. If you believe in the vision of the company and you like the game, then now might be a good dip. You know, Axies on the marketplace are looking very affordable compared to how they have in the past. And meanwhile, the price of SLP is going down very, very fast, pretty much, down 50% in the month. But prices go up and they go down. And overall, if you look at the lifetime chart, SLP is still up a lot in price from where it was a year or 2 years ago. All right, so just keep in mind your time horizon. Don't be looking too short term. If you are a scholar, maybe save your SLP, because if it does go back up in price, you'll be able to sell it for more. But yeah, comment your own address below, enter the SLP giveaway. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter if you use Twitter. God bless you all, and until next time.